Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be getting you up to date on my thought process and kind of progress for session 1 of participation in the Affinity Cup. So let's get into it. Alrighty, first of all, if you haven't seen like the shard pulls, it was a lot of fun. I got together with Hell Hades, and we both pulled our shards for the event, kind of, you know, when we were around each other to kind of talk about it live. So that was a lot of fun. Check that out on my channel. It's one of my most recent videos, kind of pulling shards and live reactions with my opponent, Hell Hades, kind of reacting to my pulls, and we had a lot of fun doing that. There is also a website that I will link in the video description called raidfocus.com, where you can see all of the teams and a little bit of a breakdown, all in kind of one spot of everything going on for the Affinity Cup. So definitely check that out. But yeah, so a quick rundown if this is your first time kind of watching it. It's a new account that we get a little bit of chicken and some energy and stuff, and then some shards to pull, and then each team has one player for each affinity. So it's 4 versus 4, and my affinity ended up being Void, and my opponent is Hell Hades. Now, we can't spend any money, and we get to give these accounts away to viewers and people in the community after we are done with the competition. So, super cool idea, and it should be a lot of fun to kind of go against Hell Hades and also have the team environment of my team of 4 versus their team of 4. But yeah, so basically, the thought process here, let me sort by affinity and break this down with the big page. So my main kind of goal on day 1 was get Padma and Seducer kind of invested in, because I think in terms of 3-starring the campaign, that's gonna be the route I kind of go. I thought about Painkeeper as well, but I really like the kit here that Seducer has in terms of synergizing with Padma, and then both being based on defense is very good for progression. His ability to sleep people with a pretty decent chance is going to help a lot in the campaign, and then also decreasing attack helps a lot with sustain, and we've got this 30% increased defense on all allies, which is going to help both him and Padma to kind of help synergize. The Selfless Partner is a tandem ability that won't do any good for me, and also I get a sustain aura from Seducer, which is very good for dungeons and campaign because Padma does not have an aura. So I thought those would be my best in terms of first 2 to invest in, and I'm kind of slowly developing Bulwark, so I have at least one clan boss champion, because clan boss damage does come into play here. So I want to develop him for the weekend. He's based on defense, the HP burn, and the debuff extending, with also having an aura of defense in all battles, which will come in handy especially if I'm using people like Padma, Seducer, and also Umbral that we got from pulling our shards for the summoning event that is currently going on. She's got a pretty good kit, an A1 that can hit pretty hard and scales with defense and HP, an A2 that is gonna block buffs for 3 turns, which is huge because it's on a 3-turn cooldown. That's an insanely strong ability. And the Undying Evil can be very good in campaign and dungeon waves because it's based on defense, and it's gonna place a provoke plus block cooldown skills and then make her unkillable while she's soaking up all that damage. So I will probably get into Umbral as well and use her for dungeon progression. So my main squad is kind of shaping up to be something like Padma, Seducer, Umbral, Painkeeper, Bulwark, and I might throw in a Cold Art too to use the Heartseeker once I've got some better gear and maybe a couple upgrades of accuracy in my Great Hall, because I am going to try to do the lower levels of the arena when I can. Obviously, it's tough on a new account when you've only had it for, you know, 6 hours to do well in the arena, but getting the boosted head start definitely makes it better than your average new account, because Plarium, you know, they want to kind of fast forward things. Instead of us having to do this for 3 months, we can kind of compress it by giving each player a starter pack with some voids and some energy and stuff to make the competition kind of streamlined and get things rolling. And then in terms of campaign progress, which was my first session of play, I mainly focused on the campaign, and I was able to 3-star all of normal. It was pretty smooth sailing. I had to stop and kind of upgrade some gear here and there, and use a few XP brews or something, or rework a few things. But I was able to get through the normal campaign in about an hour and a half or so, if I had to guess. So it went pretty smooth, using mainly Padma and Seducer to get through it. And now I am currently chewing through 3-starring the hard campaign. I should be able to get mostly to the end of the hard campaign in my next play session. I really want to get into brutal as soon as possible is kind of my thought process, because once you get to brutal, I can start farming the campaign for some decent pieces of defense, speed, and lifesteal, and kind of farm those levels respectively. I don't want to spend a ton of energy and a ton of investment doing that until I get to brutal, because then I can at least get those 4 and 5 star drops, and I'm not piddling with the 2 and 3 star stuff, you know, from the lower difficulties. And I've actually got some rewards here to claim 100,000. That'll help. 25 gems and 3 days of XP. That's actually really good. That means I got my XP live here, because remember, we can't spend any money, so now I've got a week of smooth sailing on the XP. And I do also want to do a quick shout out. Some people on stream helping me with the referral bonuses. This is amazing. I'm so thankful that there are people willing to help others. I super appreciate your help, and thank you for stepping up, because in this event we are allowing referral bonuses. I was totally neutral on this. I just said whatever you guys want to do is fine by me, and they wanted to have referral bonuses, so I went ahead and posted this while streaming, and people are stepping up to the plate and helping me out. So I definitely wanted to take a second and thank them, because this is going to help a lot getting those void shards and epic books. And I doubt we can get to the point of getting a sacred, but even if I just get a void shard and the XP and the energy, I'm super appreciative of that. And also, one thing I wanted to talk about is I can only use Void Affinity champions. I do have 2 Void Shards right now. We've got a 2x boosted Void Shard event coming up in the game. You can see here the Void Rush is coming, and it's going to be doubling the chances of getting epics and legendaries from Void Shards. Now, this is kind of a double-edged sword. I really, really want a Bellower. My opponent, Hell Hades, he has Bellower, and that's a huge disadvantage for me. Bellower is so godly for early game account progression. So a part of me wants to try and get Bellower to close that gap. So I almost wonder if I should pull these 2 shards before the 2x epic and legendary goes live. But at the same time, I would love to get a Skull Crown or a Madam Ceres. Remember, legendaries don't do me any good. If I summon a legendary, I'm just gonna have to throw it in the vault. So that part of the 2x is a waste, the legendary part. And then the epics, I'm wishing upon a star to maybe get Skull Crown or Ceres. So I would almost rather just pull it and hope for a Bellower would be like the GG pull for me. But I think I'm going to wait for the 2x because it's still going to be a decently small chance of getting a legendary and wasting the pull. And then even if I do get a legendary, at least it'll be cool when I give the account away, and that person will have a pretty decent starter account with a legendary on there and some developed champions like Padma and Seducer, and kind of be off and running in terms of consistent Void Affinity. So I think the consensus is still to wait, because if I do wait and pull like a Skull Crown or something, now I'm off and running and I would have a super GG campaign farmer. That's the only thing I'm missing is when you're doing this event, it's really nice to get like a Skull Crown or a Bellower to kind of give you that AoE presence on the battlefield. I don't have a super AoE presence like that in terms of somebody with AoE on their A1, but Padma is definitely an S tier pull, so by no means am I like out of it or at a significant disadvantage. I think I can make this roster work, and my pulls did go pretty well. I got a Zur, which is basically a wasted pull. I'm just going to use him as a chicken. So that was super unfortunate to get that Void Epic and just completely waste it. But other than that, I mean, Painkeeper and Seducer and Padma were really good pulls. Bulwark's going to help out in the clan boss. And Cold Heart, I may dive in and do some stuff with. Renegade, I'm weighing my options in terms of using Renegade. I don't know exactly where I'm going to go in terms of using her, but I definitely got a solid base of things to work with. I just hope out of those 2 Void Shards, I can yoink an AoE A1 champion, like a Bellower or Skull Crown, and then I would really be kind of complete. So yeah, the plan going forward is start kind of working on these missions a little bit loosely, getting you know, cracking through those on the easy ones, and then the challenges and all that, some of these easy ones. Now I have to wait for the Void dungeon before I can do any sort of ascending. I'm not going to invest the gems on opening it. I could have sworn on a new account these were all open, but in terms of the boosting starter pack or whatever, that must have gotten messed with, because I could have sworn when you're a new player these are open for like the first week, but that's not the case, and I don't want to invest 300 gems to open the Void Keep. I'm just gonna wait until it opens, and then I'll try to farm some of those first introductory potions. Hopefully I can get to stage like 13 or 14 on the Void Keep. I do have the Seducer to block the debuffs and block the poisons and stuff, so hopefully I can make that work and then get at least some of these champions to level 3 in the first iteration of the Void Keep being open. But yeah, that's kind of the general plan, and a link to my stream is down in the vid description. Probably 80 to 90% of the time that I'm playing in this account, I will try to be live streaming so that people can kind of tune in and see how the competition is going and kind of experience it with me. So a link to the twitch.tv, /CF_chosen will be in the vid description, and also a link to my opponent, Hell Hades, will be down there if you want to check out his summonings against me and kind of follow both of us as we kind of go through this competition. It'll be a lot of fun going against him because he's a great player, and we both had pretty good luck with our shards. So I think it's going to be really interesting to follow which one of us can come out on top. So yeah, as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.